This comment is actually the literal definition of the curb cut effect. The curb cut effect basically states that accessibility or universal design benefits everyone. Just so you know, the little cutouts in sidewalks are curb cuts. Examples of the curb cut effect are literally everywhere. Curb cuts themselves were obviously first designed for wheelchair users, but they ended up benefiting a lot of other people, including parents with strollers, people with dollies, old people who might not be able to get up that one step, people with temporary injuries or disabilities, people on crutches, people on little knee scooters, skateboarders, literally anyone on wheels. In the video that this comment was left under, I was showing how an accessible kayak launch actually benefits everyone because it makes it much easier to get into and a lot harder to flip. And obviously this benefits little kids, older people who are unsteady on their feet, or literally anyone that's uncoordinated. You literally cannot say that you've never benefited from accessibility. You just haven't realized it yet.
So the first thing I do is go and get one of these wheelchair trolleys. It clips on either side of my wheelchair frame so I can still push around as normal. I use scan as you go because I find checkout can be quite difficult in a wheelchair. I also go during quiet hours, so I'm basically one of the only shoppers there. Then I transfer my shopping into shopping bags and my backpack. I've got a smart drive on the back of my wheelchair so I can put the rest of my shopping in my lap and just zoom home. Thanks for watching.
Flying EasyJet as an autistic person. When I was at the gate, I was approached by another special assistance passenger. She said, "You're disabled." I replied, "Yes, I am." She said, "Yeah, right." Looked me up and down and rolled her eyes at me. I clarified I was autistic, and instead of replying, she huffed and turned her back on me. I burst into tears. This pushed me over the edge. I was having a panic attack. I knew I should tell the crew, as I was upset and wanted to avoid any more horrible remarks. The EasyJet cabin crew were fantastic. They listened to me, got me water and helped me calm down. The crew had good awareness of hidden disabilities. They told me I didn't do anything wrong and that shouldn't have happened. Remember folks, not all disabilities are visible.
Types of people I encounter living with Tourette's. The stares once and gets it ignored. The girl who is busy, doesn't care to notice. The uneducated ableist who keeps staring. The queer, fellow neurodivergent who just gets it I love you.
As a blind person, do I let people know about my disability when I meet them, or do I keep it a little bit of a secret? Here are two little stories, one where I did tell the person beforehand that I was blind and one where I didn't. So on this first occasion, I was at a bar and got chatting to a girl. Things were going relatively well, and we decided to give each other our numbers. I pulled my phone out, and before I pulled my phone out, I warned her that I was blind, because you're going to be surprised if a blind man pulls out that phone and it starts talking to them out loud. This little pre-warning didn't go so well, however, because by the time I'd pulled my phone out to give it to her to put a number in it, she had walked away. The girl who was very interested before I mentioned I was blind was now gone. In this second occasion, I'd gotten a job interview and hadn't disclosed on my CV that I was blind. I walk into the interview room with my cane and sit down, and before the interviewer has even said hello, I am lectured on how disabled people cost more and aren't desirable employees. I fought my corner for the interview, but needless to say, I did not get the job. Nowadays, I do disclose my disability to people that I meet if it is relevant. I'm very comfortable with my disability. It's not my fault if you're not.
So we have now reached the part of the day where I need to move my car, because most disabled spaces in London, or at least the ones that I've seen, have a 4-hour time limit. And given that I work an 8-hour shift, just like most people, because that's a pretty normal length, that doesn't really work. And we have an extra problem today, which I've never encountered, because every single disabled space, except the one that I've already been in for 3 hours and 50 minutes, is full. I'm not gonna lie, I don't really know what to do, because I've got 4 hours left of my shift, and there's nowhere to move my car to. But if I leave it in the space it's already in, I'll probably get a ticket. And I'm being really nonchalant about this in this video, but it's absolutely outrageous that most of these spaces have a 4-hour time limit on them, because the inherent assumption is that disabled people don't work 8-hour shifts. And now I'm spending my lunch break trying to find another disabled space because my disability did not clock off after 4 hours.
Apparently going for a run together is good for your marriage, but it just annoys me. It always takes twice as long. She's so slow. Come on.
So this is my new zine walker. You guys have had a lot of questions about it. Basically, it helps to support my weight so that I can walk really easily. It's also really cool because it supports me to go down and up. It has like some sort of spring technology, I don't really know, but it's really amazing because it helps me walk really easily. And then when I get tired, I can just put it at like whatever level I can just put it at whatever level I want, and I can sit, and my mom or whoever I'm with can push me like a wheelchair. These come back too. So then I don't have to like overexert myself or worry about walking too far. Yeah, it's really cool.
Being disabled can be like having a full-time job, so to give you a better picture of what that's like, let's talk about what it takes to get medications refilled. For each medication, I have to start off by calling the prescriber. Then I call the pharmacy to make sure that they receive the script, and if they didn't, I have to call back to the original prescriber. And since I didn't do it right the first time, of course I'm going to double check and call the pharmacy to make sure they actually got it. Sometimes there's an issue with insurance, and like, oh, this medication that you've been on for a few months now that's helping you, no, we don't think you need it anymore, so then I have to sit on hold with them for a few hours. And then call back the prescriber, let them know that everything's cleared, and then call the pharmacy to make sure they received it, and do the whole same thing all over again. When you have a series of different medications and a series of different prescribers, it can take hours to get all of your medications. And for me, I need every single med that I take every single day. I cannot miss a dose. Well, I could. I'd just be in excruciating pain and completely non-functional, which is not a good option when you're trying to live and do things and have a job and take care of yourself and take care of a family. And it's extra difficult whenever you're working with a scheduled substance. Oftentimes you have to go back for in-person visits to see that provider. And there's just extra hoops to jump through. Just some food for thought. Happy Disability Pride Month!
Okay guys, so I've been seeing a lot of comments about how you guys think I'm faking my disability, and honestly it's really starting to piss me off that it took you guys this long to figure it out. No, but yeah guys, I do have a disability. I mean, come on, look at my legs, are super skinny, but yeah, no, I just want to tell you guys that just because you're in a wheelchair doesn't mean you can't stand up. There's a whole bunch of different kinds of disabilities, and I just want to tell you guys that. So yeah, thank you. Oh, they're so skinny.
Intellectual and Learning Disability Services tell us that people with disabilities can't stay up late because
health and safety reasons. We need to keep them safe.
Well, how safe?
Oh, I go now, see a bit, hold on, gotta keep you safe, haven't we? Oh. Right, there we go. Yeah, that's the one. That's the one. Okay. What's going on? Yeah. Okay, all done. Well, do you know what, actually, it's probably best if you don't go out. Yeah, health and safety reasons, obviously.
And go and sit down.